This week, I went to my first ever yoga class. Now, I have been a practitioner, I have been a practitioner of the art for years and years now. I can't remember when I started doing yoga. I think it was in 2017. I remember because I was still friends with Shane, and he was giving me shit about it because it's like unchristian or whatever. So I started calling it Satan stretching. But I started doing it because I was fishing at the time and I was developing a lot of pain from walking around in the woods and standing on rocks in the river all day, etc. And so I took up yoga and it really helped, actually. It did make me feel a lot better. Now the problem was, if you want to be a practitioner of something, you have to actually practice it, and I didn't keep it up, and that's why I'm in the situation I'm in today. But a key point was that I never went to an actual class. I watched videos online. I did the Yoga with Adriene stuff. Adriene is an excellent teacher, and she doesn't get too far afield. She just tells you what to do, and you do it, and then you feel better. That's what I liked about it. I'm not averse to learning about other spiritual practices, but I need the exercise. Like, I'm not there to, like, that's not my primary purpose, and that's not Adriene's primary purpose. And so, you know, she gets into it a little bit sometimes, but you mostly just do the Satan stretching without talking too much about Satan. But I have a friend, a young mother who left her corporate job, couldn't take it anymore. Her husband, you know, I guess they make enough to live for a while without her having a job, so she's taking some time off, which I think is great. And she takes her kid to daycare, and then, she's my ADHD mentor. She has ADHD. She would talk to me about it, and I would be like, man, you sound just like me, but we know I'm normal, right? So what's wrong with you? And it is with her that I went body doubling the other day. It wasn't actually with Frohickey from the pharmacy. It was with her, and we were sitting there in a coffee shop, like with our laptops. And she said, why don't we, you know, what we should do is, like, we should have a schedule, and we should come in and we should do work, but sometimes we should go to the gym, like the YMCA is right there. Let's get a membership. Number one, have you met me? Are you a good judge of character? Because do I look like I want to go to the gym with you? Number two, I already have a membership to that gym because my wife got us a family plan. I've never even gone and gotten my ID. Like, that's how lazy I am. My wife went and did the work, and I still won't show up and work out. And I made some kind of non-committal, oh yeah, we should totally do that. We'd be super fit in a year. If you put our ADHD energies together and put us on a treadmill, damn, we'd be freaking Lance Armstrong, but with balls. I didn't actually mean it. I didn't want to actually go. Anyway, so I start getting these texts from her. She's like, hey, have you gotten your ID yet to the gym? No. So then she's like going to these yoga classes. She's like, I know you do yoga. You should come to a yoga class. Like, come to the yoga. No, I'm not. She badgered me into it. I finally went on a Wednesday. I went down there and I got my ID, and I got the little card that you scan. I took a picture of it and I sent it to her and I sent it to my wife, and I'm like, hey, I'm done. Isn't this enough? Like, I went there and I talked to the people that gave me a card. The old lady behind the counter, she's like, do you want me to take you on a little tour? I'm like, no. I sent her a picture of my ID. The text didn't stop. Do you want to come to yoga? Come to yoga. And it's like getting somebody to go to church. Hey, we're going to have a great Sunday. There's going to be a fellowship dinner. The sermon's going to be on, you know, clean living and not smoking and drinking too much. We get to the end of the week. We get to Friday. I just can't take it anymore. Okay, all right, fine. Fine, I'm gonna show up to the yoga class. Yoga class scheduled for 9:15. Me being me, I hate being late. I show up at 9:10. I go into the YMCA. There's some young jock looking dude who, like, he's like one of those dudes that always wears his backpack. Like, no, like he's literally sitting in a chair behind the counter with his backpack on. I do a big circle around the big room with all the big exercise machines. I don't see any yoga classes. I see some doors that are kind of like, but they're like dark. They're like closed off offices or whatever. I do a big circle. It's now like 9:14. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to go talk to backpack guy. I go talk to backpack guy. I'm like, look, hey, I was told there's a yoga class here. That's cool. That's you lied. You know what? That's fine. I'm going home. He's like, no, man. No, dude, yoga class is right down here. So we go back down to the corner of the big room, and there in one of the darkened rooms is the yoga class. It's dark. It's like a rave in there, but it's a rave for 75-year-olds. So I go in and I'm clearly late, even though at this point it's 9:16. It's 9:16, there's a room full of old people laying on the floor. And I'm thinking, man, I could just turn around. No one would know. I could just walk out. And then I see my friend way in the room and she like waves at me. I'm like, shit. Luckily, I like to buy nice things when I get into something. And so I had my own yoga mat from back in the day when I bought it. It was an expensive mat. I don't know why are mats so expensive? You can buy a doormat at Home Depot for $5. So I didn't have to like ask, hey, I hate to interrupt the class, but could you get me a yoga mat, please? Hey, a first time fat dude trying to do yoga, can we interrupt this serene fucking peaceful moment? Would you get me a yoga mat out of that closet over there? So the instructor is like this boomer hippie guy, right? And he's like, I'm laying there, my fat ass is laying there on the mat in like corpse pose or whatever, like there's some word for this pose that has way too many consonants in it, and I'm just laying there looking at the ceiling of the YMCA, and he's like, I want to start with non-duality. And I'll stop right here and say, I actually subscribe to the theory of non-duality. I think it's a great theory. Dude, I just want to stretch my calves. So he starts droning on about imagine an oxygen molecule from the air that gets exhaled by an oak tree, and then you breathe it in and it goes down your trachea into your lungs and through osmosis joins your bloodstream and it goes into the blood-brain barrier, and then later you poop it out and it goes into the sewer and oxygenates some algae down the river or whatever. I'm like, dude, what? My legs hurt. I need to stretch them. Shut up. You think it's cringy, right, when young, hot, white soccer moms start appropriating Eastern thought with their yoga. It's way cringier when boomers do it. But maybe this guy has appropriated something good, so I'm gonna stay open-minded. I'm gonna listen to this. And so I go through this hour in a dark room with all these old people, and I've never been to a yoga class. I've always done yoga in private. And by the way, this experience made me realize what a great teacher Yoga with Adriene is. If any other fat, white, pipe-smoking guys out there want to try yoga, check out Yoga with Adriene. She's awesome. I never thought, though, about how when you're on your own in your room and you're like doing some pose that makes you stretch out, you don't have to worry that you're gonna accidentally hold hands with the old man next to you. And when it's a pose like, oh, stick your sits bones, your pelvic floor, raise it to the sky. No, that's your ass. This is yoga code for stick your ass in the air like you just don't care. I'm not gonna do that in a room full of people. That's not me. I'm not that guy. The old boomer guy was that guy, and I finally realized why the room was dark. Whatever. So I go through and we do get to the stretching and it feels good, and my legs are getting the stretch that I need, and I'm feeling some relief and good body feelings. My body doesn't feel quite like the hellscape that it normally feels like, and so cool, and we get through the whole practice and I'm thinking, okay, maybe this wasn't that bad. And so finally we're at the end and we're in like Shamalama Ramalama Ding Dong pose, which is exactly like the first corpse pose where you're just laying there looking at the ceiling and like this like stained ceiling tile in the YMCA gym. And then boomer hippie is going on and he starts in, he's like, when I took my first spiritual journey to Nepal, oh shit. Why do yogis always have to drop the fact that they went on some trip to some Eastern country? Like it's name dropping for hippie boomers who are so old that if they actually drop names, you wouldn't know who those people are because they're dead. Fine, okay, whatever, I'm feeling better. I just gotta listen to this guy for like 3 more minutes and then I'm out of here. And he's saying, when I went to Nepal, they told us that the name of the country, the name Nepal, means never-ending peace and love. And all the old ladies in this room simultaneously go, oh. Are you freaking kidding me? What, you just buy that? You think that these people who have a history of millennia before Christ, they named their country for an acronym for an English phrase? What the hell kind of ancient wisdom is this? You really expect me to believe that there was some yogi levitating on top of Mount Everest 5,000 years ago and he's like, someday some like dollar store knockoff of Paul McCartney is gonna visit Nepal and he'll be speaking English, so we better name our country Never-Ending Peace and Love. From Wikipedia, the Nepalese Civil War was a protracted armed conflict that took place in the Kingdom of Nepal from 96 to 2006, characterized by many war crimes, crimes against humanity, guerrilla warfare, summary executions, massacres, purges, kidnappings, and mass rapes. Never-ending piece of... But my glutes are loose. That's what you need in your YouTube pipe presenter, Loose Glutes. This is the Gribbly Spiley Sunday Antisocial Hour, that time each week when I smoke my pipe and complain about all the different cultural aspects of humanity while also answering all of its questions. And if you are a piece of humanity with a question for me, leave it in the comments down below with the hashtag AskGribbs. I will answer all of your big questions, small questions, personal questions, existential questions. You cannot imagine a question I cannot answer. Today I am smoking a special pipe, and I'm going to bring you a blast from the past from 10 minutes ago before I did that opening rant and show you me lighting it. Today you will witness me lighting my Missouri Meerschaum Xenon hardwood pipe for the first time. This is the inaugural light of this pipe. I opened it in a recent video but have not gotten around to smoking it, and I have loaded it up with Peter Stockaby's Luxury Bullseye Flake. Let's try it here, shall we? It's been a minute. It's been years and years and years since I have lit the first light on a hardwood pipe, and I can't remember if there was any significant break-in process. It's kind of like a cob, but kind of not. Let's get to it here. There is a bit of a woody tone. I'm not sure I like it. But that, of course, will go away. Man, it's really there. It's strong. Okay, well, we'll see if I can tolerate that long enough to break the pipe in. Unfortunately, I still think I'm smoking like a tree branch. A nice mapley tree branch, but it's overpowering the tobacco. So I think that there is gonna have to be a protracted break-in period with this pipe. It's gotten to the point where it's not that unpleasant though. It's definitely not like breaking in a cob. When you break in a cob, you're like, oh, cream corn and tobacco. And I think that, oh, by the way, my wife and I, totally off the subject, we've been using bar soap lately because we're broke and we have a bunch of bar soap because people give you soap. You know, they're like, here's some soap. Merry Christmas. Thank you, I guess. Like, are you saying I'm not clean? Are you saying, what are you saying? Like, here's some laundry detergent. Here, would you like some windshield wiper fluid? Anyway, people give us soap. We put this bar of soap in our shower. And got in the shower last night, and she's like brushing her teeth or whatever, and I'm like taking a shower, and she's like, are you smoking weed? And I'm like, that's funny, because I was just about to ask you if you were smoking weed in our bathroom. Someone gave us weed soap. Do you know what this means? Do you know what kind of position this puts me in? Within 24 hours, I went to a yoga class, and now I've got weed soap in my bathroom. I'm like, who the hell gave us this soap? She's like, I don't know, we've had it in the closet for years. It doesn't smell, like if you smell the bar of soap, it doesn't smell like weed. But the minute you start to like lather it, it's like, it totally smells like burning weed. How do you make a soap? How do you make any substance that when you get it wet, it smells like something burning? Does not smell like fresh hemp, smells like burning weed. And so of course, naturally my next thought was, is there a market? And can I pull it off? Can I start a soap making facility in my garage that smells like burning pipe tobacco? This is my latest get rich quick scheme. How much would you pay? How much would you pay for a bar of soap that smells like Old Limey Bastard? I couldn't handle it. I threw the bar of soap away. It's just overpowering. Like, what libertarian from 2002 that lived in my dorm with me would buy this soap? Let's get to your questions and comments, please. Thank you for everyone who wrote in and told me where I should get an acrylic pipe stem. This pipe stem is definitely not acrylic. It was marketed thusly. Is that the correct use of that word? It was marketed as an acrylic stem. It is not. Thank you for your patience. As you can hear, I'm still processing my cold. The yoga did not. I should go to Reiki next. That's what I should go get. I should Reiki this shit out. But thank you for your patience. Last week, when I played Fortnite, because I just couldn't stand to actually face humanity. Yeah, no one liked it. No, it wasn't a big deal. If you like gaming stuff, I do have a gaming channel called Gribbs Grinds. You can go check that out. But For the 4 or 5 of you that like that, I think you're already there. Appreciate it. Speaking of awkward, Fireplug 1701D says, instead of choking it off, have you tried just edging it? Congratulations, Fireplug. Someone on YouTube finally said something that made me truly uncomfortable. John Galdieri asked Gribbs, what is your favorite favorite movie and book that contained pipe smoking? Is there any other answer than Sherlock Holmes? Like, I know everybody gets into the Lord of the Rings, but the reason they get into the Lord of the Rings is because we can market the Lord of the Rings, right? There are movies that show the pipes. Sherlock Holmes predates movies, and so you have to imagine in your head someone so smart that they can figure, like, the biggest problem they can imagine takes 3 pipes to figure out. A 3-pipe problem. Sherlock Holmes has to sit on his tuffet or whatever and think for 3 bowls to figure something out. That's pretty cool. And it harkens back to that era of English history where Britain was still the biggest SOB in the world, and they would go to places. I mean, Dr. Watson was a badass because he had been a doctor in Afghanistan, where the British were doing what everyone else does in Afghanistan, and now we're back to Gandhi. Now we're back to Eastern. See, this is how you tie it all together. Collapse Experiment says, you people, oh hell no, it's done on purpose. It has taken this long. That's not true. Someone caught it way back in the day because I used to do this. Yes, those of you of a certain age will remember the reason that the American ethos went the way it did is because Ross Perot completely screwed his candidacy by saying you people to a room full of minorities. Can you imagine that happening today? Can you imagine what would happen if you say, I mean, maybe nothing. I mean, look at people like Kanye. Look at what he can say to people. No one cares. Why did Ross Perot get the bad rap? That's not true. I guess people did care about what Kanye said, and that's why he's not Kanye anymore. He's teaching yoga at the Y. Martin Stinsby says, this one made me laugh so hard I couldn't even smoke my pipe. The antisocial is pure medicine. See, I'm a giver. This is my gift to you. Midlife Crisis says, I just want 1 term in Congress, not to actually do anything, but to get that sweet, sweet pension and health care for the rest of my life. That is the bitterest twist of it all, isn't it? That's the thing. That it's like all you gotta do. I live in what was Madison Cawthorn's district. Here's a man that simps for Hitler, and he's in a wheelchair. And so obviously there's some cognitive dissonance going there because Hitler would have just wheeled him right into Auschwitz. But the fact that he's in a wheelchair, and knowing a little bit about disability myself, I know that this man is going to need lots of health care for the rest of his life, and it's all going to be free. Is that true? Do they get it after 1 term? Like, how long? Fact check. Does a 1-term Congress member get full pension? No. Full pension is, but that's about how much they get paid. They never get full pay as pension when they leave office. Okay, fair. Basic eligibility for pension is the following. Members of Congress are eligible, they get a pension at the age of 62 if they have completed at least 5 years of service. So for a senator, that would be 1 term, but not for Madison Cawthorn. Sucks to be you, buddy. Ivyman123 says, can you explain this thing you have against bristle pipe cleaners? It's not just a stoner thing. I've been smoking a pipe for 15... Officer, this commenter right here, he's a stoner. I feel like the bristle pipe cleaners are for pipes that I used to buy on eBay that have been smoked by some codger for 35 years daily with like Captain Black Cherry or something. Like the bristle cleaner is the nuclear option. However, I just sent a package to Les Brady, and like right before I mailed it, I was like, hey, do you use bristle cleaners? And he was like, yeah. So I sent him all those bristle cleaners that I had, and I guess there are different schools of thought on this. It never even occurred to me that normal people might use these. Did I give away a bunch of good bristle cleaners that I could have been cleaning my bong with? Alan Frost 4661 says, too much waffle, got bored, switched off. Actually, he says switched of. Whatever. Waffles are delicious. I don't know how you could have too much waffles. I'm definitely into the shank of this pipe. I have whatever this wood is. I think this wood is supposed to be maple. I have reached this wood, which is not the same wood. It tastes different now that it's burning. And I think this pipe is going to take much more break-in time than I was anticipating. Actually, I might. You know, I have something to confess. The other day, I was cleaning out my office. I was just kind of like rearranging stuff and getting things tidied. And I looked at all my pipes in my old school slide tray on the wall. People have sent me pipe racks. John Galdieri, thank you. John, okay. You sent me a Red Ryder BB gun. Remember that? We were on a huge clean out spree all over the family, all over the estate, right? We're cleaning everything out. And I have 3 air rifles now. And because I bought one for my, we're gonna get into such personal shit here. We're gonna power through, not get emotional. When my child was in the NICU, he weighed, less than 3 pounds or whatever, and we were trying to get him to eat 40 milliliters of milk. And I told him that if he could do it, I would buy him a BB gun. Because I was still in that age of fatherhood where you think like, oh, my kid is going to be a little clone of me. The thing that I wanted when I was a boy was a BB gun. I wanted it more than anything. So I was like, hey, little lump of human, I'm going to buy you a BB gun this kid can't understand words. He's less than 0. He was literally preterm. And so, so I went out, he ate the bottle, I went out to Walmart and I got him a Crossman 760 Pumpmaster, which was what I had. By the way, mine was a lot better than the one that I bought. Anyway, everything used to be better, and now it sucks. That's the moral of the story. So I can't get rid of the Crossman because I bought him in this sentimental moment. He's never gonna want a BB gun. He just wants to play video games. That's fine. So John, then I had yours, and then I have my nice Daisy Avanti, which I do actually enjoy shooting once or twice a year. We can't have 3 BB guns in this house. So I put out a message into the ether, and John, I want you to know that I donated your Daisy Red Ryder to an actual NRA certified range officer who is going to take it to the Asheville Rifle and Pistol Association range because dads show up with their kids in tow. This is a really interesting interaction, by the way. Dads show up with their kids in tow, and the kids obviously can't shoot according to NRA range safety rules. And so it will serve as the kid gun at this range. So I thought that was pretty cool. And thank you. Right, so I was cleaning everything out. I was cleaning out and I looked at my pipes. They're hanging there in the my grandfather's slide tray, and I just thought, I haven't smoked most of these pipes in 4 years. Like, I smoked the same half dozen pipes, and I've got this thing hanging on my wall, and I started looking at my pipes, and there's just dust. There's dust, like, I dust the tops of the pipes, but then when I look in the bowls of, like, my Boswell or my Mastro de Paja, like, the bowls that are, like, the size of a, like a bowling pin, that, like, I'm never gonna smoke that pipe. I don't have time to sit there and smoke a 3-hour bowl, and so it's just, like, there's, like, a coating of dust on the bottom of the bowl where it's been sitting on the, and I just thought, damn, I'm wasting these pipes. And so I took the thing down and I was like, I'm just gonna pack all these up and I'm gonna give them away slowly. Like, I'm gonna find people that need a pipe. And I put them all in a drawer and I thought, man, the wall looks so much cleaner. Like, this is, and I've got my half dozen pipes that I'm actually gonna smoke. I've got them sitting out. And then I realized I love those pipes too much and I put them all back. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I'm attached, right? I'm not deep enough into the Eastern thought to let go of these pipes that I know I'll never smoke, but I really, really love them. And a lot of them were gifts. And a lot of them, or like, the Mastro de Paja, that was a pipe that was given to me in payment when I was doing pipe restoration for the tobacco shop here that has since changed hands and I never go there anymore. But it was like, this is what I have to remember this moment by. Pipes are the best. They're the best keepsakes. I have the one that looks like a flame that I bought when the gas main exploded over there. How can I get rid of that? You can't get rid of that. Otherwise, what would I do with my grandfather's slide tray? Like, I would end up throwing it away, and I really don't want to do that. So there's my question to you. If you've made it this far through the video, what are the pipes that you really smoke? And what are the pipes that you're hanging on to for sentimental value? Like, somebody do a VR, show us your pipes and be like, these are the smoking pipes, these are the working pipes. This is the one that, you know, my great-great-grandpappy found when he was fighting in the French Foreign Legion at Gettysburg, and he took it off a dead, this was Genghis Khan's pipe, but my French grandfather killed him at Gettysburg. Here it is. I like this pipe. If I can make it not taste like wood, I will probably put it in the rotation. I feel like it has the hallmarks of a good one. It looks good, it smokes well, it's lightweight, it doesn't hurt my teeth. That's what I look for in a good working pipe. But I do need it to not taste like I'm sucking on a baseball bat. Thank you so much for watching. This has been quite a ramble. I appreciate you sticking with me through all of it if you've made it this far. What do you want to see next week? More Fortnite? Would that be fun? I'm gonna go hold this out in my car window and drive around to try to break it in. I actually did that one time and it worked. I will let you know how it turns out and keep you apprised. I think it's gonna color in well too. Thanks for watching. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.